Hey guys, good night. It's your girl Chelle, and I'm coming to you with a brand new video. If this whole ensemble looks familiar, yes, your girl has filmed another video in this said ensemble. Let's just say I'm on a roll tonight because I have the free and I'm trying to get as much content done as possible. Okay, but I don't want this video to be longer than it needs to be, and as you can see from the title down below, girl, it's a juicy one. It's a juicy one. All right, so I think in quite a few of my other videos on here, I have mentioned this ex here and there on this channel, but OMG, brother, like, all right, so this particular ex, let's just start at the beginning so you understand what's going on here. Sorry if you can hear all the cars passing because it's literally like super wet outside. Super wet. It's super wet outside, and yeah, girl. So whatever. So this ex, when I originally met him, I was like so innocent and young. He knew deep down inside that like I lived a very sheltered life. Like my mom grew me up very sheltered. It's a blessing and a curse sometimes. And I say that because it can be a curse because I would literally not be able to identify cocaine. If it was right in front of me, like I would literally be like, oh, why is there baby powder just sitting here? So this particular day, I had ditched school. This is so bad. Don't do this. If you're under 18 or whatever and you're still in high school and you're watching this, don't do what I did, children. Be better than I was. Be better than me. So I was a senior and I was definitely experiencing senioritis. If you don't know what that is, let me break it down for you. Okay. Pretty much senioritis is when you get to that point of being a senior, and you just get tired because you're on your 4th year, you're on your last lap around the sun, honey. You just over it. If you're not somebody that's enjoying your high school experience, you want to get out that mug, you don't really care, you doing the bare minimum, etc., etc. That's where I was. Okay. It came to the point where like I can't remember how many classes I had, but it wasn't like a full day. And I didn't have a lunch, which I thought was absolutely insane. It's like, how do you, girl, how you not gonna give pimping on lunch? Like, what do you get? It's you. So whatever. I already knew I was passing. Like, I don't even want to sound cocky or no shit like that, but girl, I already knew I was graduating out this hole. I was like, listen, I already know. I ain't worried. So my senioritis kicked in OD, like ODD. So met this dude, you know, and
why did I say it like that? You know?
But yeah, met this dude and was really feeling him clearly. So, you know, pimping started skipping school. I was like, you know what? Like, we not really talk about nothing anyways, like, whatever. And especially after I did the Regents, if you ever went to school in New York City, you know what I'm talking about. We have a Regents. I don't really know what it's like anywhere in any other state or whatever. So after the Regents exam, like, there's really honey, ain't shit popping off. Okay, you just kind of going to school just to be there, to finish off the marking period. Like, you're not really doing anything of substance because you've already gotten tested on the things that matter. You've already gotten tested on pretty much the things that's going to determine whether you move on to college or not. So I was already done with that. I already knew I passed whatever. So I was just like, cool, there isn't really much for me to do here. So pimping was not going to school because I was like, bruh, like, I'd show up every once in a blue moon and my teachers would be stunned. Like,
oh my God, look who, the rare unicorn, decided to show up today. Hello. You remembered you had class today. Ah, it's wonderful.
And I'd be like, yeah, Holmes, what's good? Showed up today. So that particular day, I skipped school and went with him. So, you know, we was chilling in his apartment, you know, talking, laughing. Okay. Yes, honey. Okay. Woke up and I was like, I'm starving. So he was like, okay, cool. Let's go get something to eat. So I can't remember if we got Chinese food, like hood Chinese food from on his trip, or if we went to the bodega. I want to say, like, I want to say we went to the bodega and got something from there. So went to the bodega or whatever, and pretty much after we were coming out, like wherever we went, we were coming back out. And I remember before we left the house, he was kind of like on his phone, but it wasn't anything like out of the norm, you know what I'm saying? Like he was just texting here and there. And I remember I must have asked him, because little 17-year-old me was so insecure and literally a nightmare to date. I think I have mentioned this before in another video also. I was a nightmare to date at that point, okay? A nightmare. So I don't know, I must have asked him some craziness like, who you texting or something like that, and he was like, oh, just a friend or whatever. And I knew he had like other boys in the building that he kind of spoke to or whatever. So when he said like his boy or whatever, I didn't think nothing of it. I was like, all right, cool, better be. He meets up with this dude, and you know, they do the little signature dap, you know, hood boy dap or whatever. And I didn't think anything of it, because again, girl, my sheltered ass was so innocent. I was just like, all right, whatever, like this is just how they do, not knowing that he had already, I guess, I don't know if he made the transaction already or that was like the lead up to it. But I just remembered him, because we were holding hands, right? And then he had let go of my hand to like dap the boy, and they were just kind of like talking or whatever. Dude was just keeping it real light or whatever. And I remember he looked at me and he was like, oh, babe, can you go ahead and I'll meet you in the house. I'll meet you in the crib. And I was like, okay. Again, didn't think anything of it then, because little old innocent me was just like, whatever. I was like, okay, whatever. Boy stuff. Cool. So I took the food and I went upstairs. But I was like so love struck, guys. I was like a literal love kitten. I don't even know if I have that amount of love in my heart anymore for any other human beings but myself. But I was like so in love. So I gets to the apartment, and you know, I locked the door because I'm just like bugging. Like, I don't want nobody coming in here after me. Like, you all the way out there. Like, you would not be able to save me, because he live in the P's. If you don't know what the P's is, he live with the projects. So I was just like, girl, no. So I locked the door, and he had like a sofa in his living room that I was able to like look through like a window, and I was able to see him. So I get to the sofa or whatever, and I, you know, like a little kid, I get to the sofa, and I'm like looking, you know, like on the back of the damn thing, looking through the window. And I see him like conversing with this guy and whatever. And then like he hands him something. And I'm just like, the fuck? He out here writing letters? What's this? What's going on? But again, I didn't think nothing of it, because I'm like, it's another guy. Like, if it was another girl, I'd be like, hold up. But it was another guy, so I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, okay, whatever. So came back. I saw him, like, I saw the whole thing. So after, like, he handed him whatever, like, they said whatever, they dapped a goodbye, and then he started walking back toward the building. So I pretty much watched him until I couldn't see him anymore. So then, you know, he came, we ate or whatever. He came back inside, we ate, and, you know, we were just talking about something. And I remember asking him, I was like, what did you meet that, you know, did you know that guy? And he was like, oh, yeah, that's, like, one of my, I can't remember if he called them clients or some shit like that. And I was just like, what? Like, I was so confused. I'm like, a client? What? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, boy, what you saying? So he really had to break it down for me. He was like, pretty much, like, I'm the plug. And when, you know, he didn't say it verbatim like that, but he like used language that like helped me understand what was going on. my little innocent ass. And I was like, oh, girl, what? Honey, listen. Even from then, I knew I was not about that ride or die life. Because I remember telling him,
like, listen, if the popo pulled up on you, first of all, I don't know nothing, okay? So I want to keep it that way.
And I think in the end, like, coming to think about it, I think that's why he never told me anything about it. Because if, God forbid, you know, they ever rated him or some shit like that, and I get caught up in the mix, like, I really just don't know. Like, I really would not have known anything. So I was just like, you out here putting my life in danger? What is wrong with you? Like, honey. So he was like, no, it's not even like that. You know, my ass, I had so many questions. I was like, oh, so you doing the hard stuff? Like, what is this? And he was like, nah, I gave up the hard stuff. I used to do the hard stuff when I was younger. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, what changed? Like, why don't you sell the hard stuff no more? And he was like, oh, pretty much it carries a harder sentence. Like, I'm not trying to be stuck behind bars for 25 to life. Like, the fuck? And I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, I used to do that, but now I just do this, like, you know, real light stuff. And I was just like, in the back of my mind, this song, How Long, started playing, you know that song? Like,
how long have this been like,
that song started playing in my head. I'm just like, bro, like, what the hell? Like, has this been going on the entire time? And I was just like oblivious to the shits. Seriously. This dude had like a whole safe and everything for where he would keep his, like, he never had no weapons, at least none that I know of. None that I knew of. He never had no weapons, but like, that was like where he kept his money and like his product. And I was just like, that's wild. Like, for how, I was mind blown. Put it that way. Simply put, I was mind blown. I was just like, are you really out here trying to get me caught up, honey? I have a future that I'm working toward. I'm not trying to get caught up for nothing. And I remember I told him, like, once that little revelation was made, I was like, listen, honey, I don't do this whole ride or die situation. Like, if you ever get caught up, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm not coming to visit you. I'm not writing you no letters. We're not playing 21 questions right now. Like, I'm bouncing. I'm out, son. So you need to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if he still does that stuff, because after I broke up with him, I pretty much never spoke to him again. He was kind of salty. Like, I was trying to be friends and shit, and he was just on some next level shit. He was like, nah, I'm good, shorty. We don't need to be friends. And I'm like, dang, it's like that. Stink ass. But yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I hope you found another job, you know, one with benefits and things like that to secure a better future for your family. Like, give that whole life up. Like, it's not even a thing, bro. It's not even a thing. It's not even cute. Like, give that up. So yeah, that was the time I dated a drug dealer. As usual, if you guys liked this story, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay blessed. Bye.